15 minutes. Alright? Unfortunately, we're out of time. So, whether the mic's over, we improvise.
We also pray that for the people that are coming, that stop from like the traffic flows well, they don't get lost, location, everything just works out for our favor.
Poets in an Island presents Mbokusle Ndebele, Chelsea Ngewuka, Isaac Yami, Ayumide Wayne, Reed the Wordsmith, Poet Brian, the host Math. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the host of the show, Math, the comedian.
First of all, I'd like to apologize for the delay, guys. But, there's compensation. We have got an amazing lineup. But before all that, ladies and gentlemen, please, I just want all of us to, sorry, I get emotional about this. Oh, please, this is serious, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, last month, we lost thousands of lives due to that horrible disease. And I just want all of us to just take a moment of silence and remember all those lives that we lost due to the January disease. It's just been so... The one has always been our hearts. Are you guys ready? Yes. Alright. First, we're gonna give you guys an amazing ass trailer. Alright? Guys, play the trailer.
The world is full of stories. Everyone has a story. But it takes those who have the ability to gravitate towards telling it and the bravery of telling it. It's always the language of poetry and stories that connects us. Stories are important. Art is our opportunity to tell our stories. When words combine and worlds converge, for partners in rhyme, very vivid in verse, what else can be done? Eyes witness a universe being spun, ears filled with the sound of building blocks colliding. Sky is a canvas on which meticulous painters deliberate with each other. Light pouring with the message. Poets on an island.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. When I said there was gonna be a trailer, there was like awkwardness. Yeah, that was awkward. Sorry about that. But moving forward, we are going to have opening remarks from Professor Jim, but unfortunately he's not here, so we're going to play an audio.
Hello from 40 degrees north and 80 degrees west on the great planet Earth. I'm in the American state of Ohio and in my little village about 40 miles south of the Great Lakes of America and Canada. I've been thinking about miracles today because I've been thinking about my friends in Cyprus. Late last night, the rain turned to snow, and this morning the dark landscape had turned to an alabaster white. It seems that water freezes at about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and those little drops of water turned into snowflakes. Beautiful, intricate, geometrical designs, each one different, each one like a human being, on the surface similar, but each snowflake and each person is a miracle. Not far from where you live on the beaches of the Mediterranean, turtles lay eggs. And surprisingly, 50 to 60 days later, those baby turtles head to the ocean. But they always remember where they came from, and they seem to have an uncanny knowledge of where they're going. Here in America, the commonest flower is a dandelion. It gets its strange name from the teeth of a lion. It's a pest. People use terrible pesticides to kill these little pesky flowers on their lawn. But were the dandelion to be a rare plant, people would come from all over the world to see it. You see, the greatest miracles around us are common. We take them for granted. Take you, for instance. You came from a bit of sperm and an eager egg, hardly enough matter to put on a coffee spoon. But here you are, alive and healthy, and remarkably looking a lot like your mother and father. How did that happen? How did your facial features, the shape of your ears, the way your eyebrows run together, your hairline, all those characteristics came in a package known as DNA? That's a miracle. Another miracle I think about often is art, particularly the arts of language. Stories, poems, proverbs, songs, drama. This is what the Poets on an Island is all about. And this epic event has been brought about by young people who are animated by the spoken word. Think about it for a minute. Think about who we are and where we are. As you know, Cyprus can be difficult, but it's only after you've stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to change, to grow, to transform, perhaps to find your own story. Here, so many of you are outside your comfort zone, strange language, strange food, but look, you're prospering. I think it is fair to say that those like you who have overcome great challenges will be changed, and often in unexpected ways. For your struggles enter your lives as unwelcome guests. But these unwelcome guests bring amazing gifts. Gifts you could not even imagine that you wanted. But once the struggle, once the pain subsides, the gifts remain. These gifts are life's treasures, bought at a great price, but cannot be acquired in any other way. Perhaps the impetus for stories and poetry is one of those gifts. North Cyprus is full of artistic talent once you discover your community and once you discover kindred spirits. But painters require brushes and expensive paints and canvas, and sculptors need marble in a chisel or molten metal in a furnace. And you filmmakers, you require equipment that is far beyond the budgets of most of us. But poets and storytellers need only two ingredients: language and genius. The Shonakis of Ireland, the griots of Africa, the storytellers of ancient Greece. All these poets have utilized the intricacies, the idiosyncratic, methods, the nuances of language. Rhythm and rhyme, litotes and hyperbole, apostrophe, assonance, hyperbole, irony, metonymy, onomatopoeia, paradox, personification, puns, similes, synecdoche, and understatement. Weaving narratives without technology, without firecrackers, without lights. They can cause laughter without pratfalls or gags. All they need to do is combine the vowels and consonants of human language. I once gave a young friend a dictionary, a young friend who wanted to be a writer, and she asked me why. And I said, all the stories you will ever write are in that book. You just have to put the words together. The languages of the world have a finite number of oral sounds. English has only 40 to 44 sounds, vowels and consonant, diphthongs, and nasals. E, a, ta, da, pa, ba, yips, and yaps. An occasional nonsense sound, like Those sounds combined with imagination can make you laugh, can make you cry, can make you fearful, cheer you up, give you courage, recall the triumphs of your ancestors, express love, forgiveness, and empathy. And for those poets, those sounds can frame ideas that were once vague, capture their life story, perhaps express their fears and frustrations. And oftentimes for writers, their works save their lives. From these few sounds, the treasure chest of the spoken arts, combined with the genius of the poet, we can build a human community. It is no wonder that communication and community have the same root. Language, like the turtles, the snow, and the dandelion, language is a miracle, a great miracle. Let's be grateful and listen.
The thing I like about poetry is that it brings people together. It shows the power of language, right? Yeah. That's what I expected. I expected when I came to Cyprus that I'm just gonna, get there. To be honest, I thought I was gonna get to Cyprus when I went to Near East. I'm gonna be like, hi, I'm black, I understand English, and Turkish girls like, oh my God, you're so amazing. But what I was told was a horrible phrase. And this phrase, I'm sure most of you can understand, this phrase is just as offensive as when a white person calls me nigger. You know this phrase, right? Me no English. I just don't get it. And here's the funny thing. When the Turkish people are inside the classroom, right? Their English is out of this world. These guys will be saying words that even I don't understand. Misinterpretation, all these big words, right? But then the moment they walk outside the classroom, it's like their Mujurati for English expired or something. You know what I mean? I don't get it. And then when you're on the bus, all of a sudden the English comes back. And they're like, I'm sorry, my friend, can you please sit down? Now, this is my advice to you guys, alright? When you're on the bus, and a Turkish person is like, I'm sorry, my friend, can you please sit down? Don't get angry. Don't hate them. All you have to do is take a deep breath. Put a smile on your face. Look at them and say, me no English. You guys ready? Coming up first, we're going to have the history of spoken word by poet Brian. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brian!
1, 2. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. No, that's fine. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm good. All right. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Corey Bryan, and because I am the father of the group, they asked me to do a brief history of the culture of spoken word. Spoken word poetry goes back to the 1960s, and it is something that has been rooted and basically linked revolutions both in the UK, in the United States, and in various different places across the world. Spoken word goes beyond just writing. Spoken word is a culture that is basically fueled multi-denominational and multicultural groups. The reason why spoken word is important is it's become something that has basically been a voice of those that were oppressed, those that were afraid to actually voice certain opinions that they could have either been enslaved, been arrested, or otherwise actually been killed for. Spoken word poetry, till this day, is a culture that has fueled many of what we love till this very day. For example, rap music. For example, things like storytelling. Spoken word poetry originated, those that are African, you know how we used to sit around fires and with your grandparents and they used to tell stories, and then somebody used to add a beat to it, and somebody used to recite something that they know, like maybe a story they learned a few weeks ago from a friend or two. And that now became a culture where people used to sit on Friday, Saturday evenings, and people used to sit around fires. It used to be something that was also spiritual, that used to be used to invoke the gods. And the power of spoken word has been passed down from generation to generation. The people that you are about to encounter this evening are extraordinary human beings. Unfortunately for me, this is my last show in Cyprus, and I was asked to give this sort of small speech as a token of appreciation of what spoken word can be done. Weird fact, one of the greatest spoken word artists that was actually born before your great-great-great-grandfathers actually walked this island and gave a speech in Famagusta. And I'm not going, a brief Easter egg, if somebody actually figures that out, if somebody actually figures out who that poet is, and it's going to be mentioned by one of the spoken word artists tonight, I will give you a painting worth 600 TL. No, I can't tell you who the artist or the person that's going to actually mention the name, but once you pick it up, just raise your hand and say, I got it, and we'll know. And that being said, for those that registered the first 20 seats, we have your prizes ready, and we'll be giving you art worth 300 TL and some books as well. Thank you guys for appreciating the culture spoken word. I can see somebody knows a few house rules. Okay, in this house we snap, we don't clap. But in case you do like something that you hear, you can say, oh shit. Got it. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, Daddy. Each seat. That's up to you, but hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the sponsors, thank you to everybody that has fueled this night, and believe me, your man's about to be blown. You don't know. We should have charged you people for this. Alright. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Corey Bryan. I'll see you later. We
Hey. Okay. Alright. You are beautiful. What is your name? Please come and say it. Please. Yeah, we play, yeah. We don't play, yeah. Not the game. Not. What is your name? Come on, man. No. Your name is Creativity. Just sit there. Creativity. I know your name. I said Creativity. I know your name. I got my dick on my hand. Creativity. You think this is a game? It's that type of show. Creativity. I got a beast in my pants that I think only you can tame. Please. It's only gets worse from here. Because Creativity, when I'm done with you, you're gonna look at me and be like, girl, compared to them other niggas, math is not the same. Yes, man, give it up. Wait, man. That was fun. I like doing that. Coming up next, we're going to have a group of amazing poets. I'll talk to you guys. They're going to take you on a roller coaster. So, without further ado, give it up for poets! Yeah!
The English language has approximately 1 million words in its vocabulary. What is spoken word? What is poetry? Poetry is the rhythmical dancing of those words to create a masterpiece. Words got power. Words can create an atmosphere. Someone can make you feel warm in a cold weather by just saying it. Words are powerful. Words can start a family. If you think I'm lying, go ask your mom and dad how they started. Words are powerful. Words can create a world. Words can create peace. Words can endorse wars. Words can encourage. Words can discourage. Words can basically create everything. But what is wrong with words? Nothing is wrong with words. See, words yield to a master. Whoever is behind those words determines the power of those words. See, God created the world from just his speech. Let there be words. Words are powerful. Words define who we are. In them lies so much power. So handle words with care. After all, you're the master of your own words.
For
here I am, literally with a nuclear weapon behind my teeth, ardently finding heat, uttering oddities and maybe some vanities. See, I understand that sometimes because of words that you want to wait for words and to take a tick until time up. I think to myself, am I too late with my words? Do I need 9 lyrical stitches? For they say it's 9 stitches come in place of 1 when you're too late. 9 lyrical stitches for all the times they gentrified poetry and they made it for birthday occasions and weddings. 9 times for all the times they singled out the poets that spoke differently, those that dared to dream and dashed their pens and struck them with so much violence that they produced words that refused to stay on paper. 9 lyrical stitches for all the times they called poets weird, simply because they couldn't understand us. And see, people hate and fear what they do not understand. 9 lyrical stitches for all the times they overlooked great words, simply because they didn't like the face behind it. But face it, the world around us is bound by nothing but a force of verbs, a verbal tsunami, a dynamic rolling and rolling, taking hearts and minds like a poltergeist and occupying everything and revealing the disguises behind the hidden face in society. Those are words for you.
We are the painters that never could stroke with a brush or stand the smell of paint. We are the magicians that could never sew a lady in half without actually sewing her in half. But with our words, we are the Picassos of language. Our words color pictures on the greatest canvas known to men, the human mind. The kind of colors the blind can see, fashioned into symphonies the deaf can hear. With our tongues, we are the Houdinis of our time, using our personal vernaculars to tear you apart and put you back together, teleporting you to parts of yourself you never thought existed. We have traveled miles from the primitive corners of our imagination to bring this beauty to you, to bring our words to you. So everything you hear here is real. Parts of real lives from real people, just letting their words do the talking.
They called and we answered. We are the assassin's bullet, the butcher's knife, the artist's pen. We are the photographer's lens. We are he that answered when everybody cowered. We are the last of the broken. We are the last of the outspoken. We are the ones that never shake. The quake beneath the sands of time. We are the remnant of the believers of art. We are those that can never be torn apart. We are those that could never be snapped away. We are those that bring those that have been snapped back. We are the ones that remind Superman that he still has Lois Lane. We are both the kryptonite and yet the Batman. We are those that roam in the dark and we aren't afraid of the shadows. We take them because we are the salt of the earth. We are the light that shines at midday. We are poets on an island.
I would like to apologize in advance for those with tender hearts, because this show is going to be a lot of swearing, a lot of vulgarity, and this is all just to emphasize what we're talking about. So if anyone gets offended, that's the music, yes. I graduated last week Tuesday. Thank you. And I've been on this island for 4 years. One thing I can say is my first impression of Near East University has changed for my 4th year, and I'd like to believe that I have gotten a bit wiser. So to give my conclusion about my experience at NACE, I only have 2 words. It sucked. It was horrible. I mean, take for instance, the international office situation. I don't know if you guys learned at NACE or some of you learned at CIU, but when it comes to paying tuition, right? The normal thing to do is that your bank sends the money to the school, right? And then the school receives it, because it's the 21st century, and they then send an email acceptance letter, yeah? Not at NACE. Simplicity is out of the order. What this fucking school does, I want you in defense. What this fucking school does, right? The bank sends the money to the school, and then you have to physically be there and give them the bank statement. And then these bastards look at you and they're like, I'm sorry, system's done, come back tomorrow. Basically what I'm trying to say is like, look at it this way. Let's say me and East, we have the wedding, right? The big wedding, everyone's there, everyone has witnessed, okay? And it's time for the honeymoon, right? And I'm in the bedroom and I look at Nace and I'm like, ew, Nace. Time for that acceptance letter, you know what I mean? And then Nace is like, I'm sorry, who are you? Nace, it's me. No, don't touch me, who are you? Babe, it's me. No, I'm going to call police if you don't show me proof. I'm like, okay, get my bank statement, god damn it. I'm sorry, the system is done, come back tomorrow. You guys ready for the next point? Yes. Come on, guys, come on. You guys ready for the next point? Yes. This point. Those are my friends right there. It'll be fun. The next poet is from Nigeria. His name is Ayo. Brilliant poet. At first I had difficulty understanding his poems, but you understand. But what? You understand? You see? No, but seriously, this guy is amazing. His poems are very youthful and touching. At some point I cried. And I hope that they're able to touch you guys to the point that you actually get to go through this journey with them. So without further ado, please give it up for Ayo!
I'm beginning to think you have a multi-personality disorder. Society has set standards for socializing and you've succumbed to our rules. You've put on a different person for every place. For every friend, you've put on a different face. Feeding your insecurities, your pride keeps swallowing, while the real you starves. Day and night, you hunger. Thrusting yourself face first into unending thirst, trusting everyone but yourself to satisfy this hunger, yet falling short of satisfaction. I can take this no longer. The only resemblance we now bear is that we are shadows of what we can be. I mean, look at me. Frustrated because you would not feed me, and look at yourself, frustrated because you keep feeding the wrong things. You've prepared a table for your enemies, feeding your low self-esteem, clothing your fears in fine linen. You've unionized your insecurities. You're now going on a hunger strike. You think you're fasting, but they keep preying on you. Do you not see? Are you blind, or do you not see that this person they like?
It's not you. You have now become like the lyrics of a cover, so versed in being just like the original. You're sealing yourself in a cover. You've faked this facade for so long, you now think it's original. You're now fond of fables and folk tales. You're now fond of foes, Facebook friending them because that's the only place they'll ever like you. Do you not see that this person they like is not you? It's a picture perfect image of you that gets snapped out of their minds as fast as they click. Are you blind or do you choose just not to see? So maybe you'd understand this if I speak in your language. You see, I'm done watching how I talk. I'm done watching how I tread. So let's talk like this, the way you speak on Twitter, a thread. After all, isn't that what is holding your life together? A thread. You've forgotten that you, a thread, have been knit into the DNA of the Creator. Who told you? Who told you that this version of you is not good enough? Who told you that this little light in your heart is not able to light the earth? You are a treasure. And a treasure is found in a chest. So look within your chest. Within your chest beats the essence of you. So that hunger in your stomach, that thirst in your throat, will only be satisfied when you feel the emptiness in you. That hunger will only be satisfied when you realize that you are enough. Most journeys end at some bus stop, but that's where this trip starts. See, I don't know why, but man, I was tripping. It was as though I had tied my shoelace together. I was helplessly falling. 16-year-old me didn't understand what was going on. It was as though my heart had woven my arteries into a rope, the way it kept skipping beats. I didn't understand what this was that I was feeling. But in that moment, I felt like I had lived my whole life empty, like something that needed this feeling. You know people that say stuff like, there's nothing like love at first sight? They're probably blind. Beauty had gone shopping in the clay. She wore a 5-foot frame and she sat in front of me. So trust me when I tell you I did not know what to do. Sincerely, I had no clue. In my head were words like, just be you. Now that's terrible advice. I knew I had to become something new. So I walked up to her and I sat. My heart jumping, my eyes running wild as butterflies swarmed around in my stomach. Everything was so dramatic. It was like I was in a play, as though time had paused, as though the red light of a sun had stopped my earth. So I prepared. Yellow, hello. I was getting ready, waiting for the green light. This chair that I sat on felt like a bed, because on it sat arose. And I felt like a thorn in this bed, because as soon as I sat, she arose.
My God.
That's not a good
My video is not coming up, so twice of these pieces, everybody leaves.
Yes.
Stop! I shouted in silence, swiftly shutting down the seducing songs my senses sung. I simply sat in my seat, sandwiched in the strong arms of this sofa. She stood outside, stranded, slamming her fist against the door. What I was doing was selfish. My spirit strove with my soul. Sandra, outside my door, was nature's articulation of the struggles I had been going through for the past few weeks. Mother Nature, in all of her artistic valor, had decided to paint this night, drawing lines she knew I'd never cross. The sun setting had set this picture in motion. I could not open this door. I just couldn't. You see, opening this door was indicative of me opening another, one that led to a room, a dark room that housed my heart. So I could not. The last person I let into this house did not clean her shoes before she came in. She'd just been ankle deep in a mud-soaked relationship. The last man that she allowed handle her life manhandled it. He treated her the only way he knew, the only way trash can, doing to her what we do to garbage. He dumped her. And she, the emotional mountain of highs I expected, ended up becoming a valley of an all-time low. And she walked around my heart with those same heels. You see, I was already messed up before she came in. Anna wasn't the first person to leave. They all did. No matter how much room I made for their excesses, it was never enough. I was never enough. So tell me, why should I go through the joy that love brings if the longer excruciating pain of heartbreak is inevitable? So long before Sandra showed up, I promised myself I'd never let anyone in. So we could stand on the front porch or sit below the stars or the stairs, staring into each other's hearts, but you would never get in. But it was as though my roof wasn't sealing enough. Sandra had found a way to break down my walls. I had begun to smile. I longed to hear her voice when she was gone for a while. My face lit up when she spoke. I mean, I was becoming free. There was this one time I told a joke. The whole cycle had begun. I knew what I had to do. Allow my tongue be a blunt knife and cut these ties. But I still couldn't do that. It was easier done than said. So I did what any normal person would. I blocked her on Instagram. And then I blocked her everywhere else. She was knocking as an inquiry to ask why. She stopped knocking. I heard footsteps go down the stairs and back up again. She knocked again. The silence after this knock spoke more volumes than the knocks before. It was as though she was saying, if you don't find your way to this door, you'd lose me. So from my seat, I screamed, I love you. My throat choked out these words before I could say them. I was too dumb to say such deafening words. I was being suffocated by my own arms, yearning to get up out of this sofa. As I saw the last month flash before our eyes, I was too weak. Everything was moving out of control. I was dazed. And I screamed in response one more time, I love you. This time, these words leapt out of my tongue, but were immediately swallowed by the room vacuum I sat in. And suddenly my legs quickened, my heart beats fasting, I loosened I ran towards the door, swiftly twisting the knob, and I screamed. This time I heard my voice, I love you. But there was no reply. The echo had become a builder, constructing a structured sentence out of the words I just spoke. I love you. She was gone. And I checked her trail. There was no mud in it. Thank you, my name is Adam David.
Good, right? Oh my God. Wow. Ready for the next point? You guys ready for the next point? Yeah. The energy I'm talking about, man. Our next point. Mature lad. He's the one who invited me over, unfortunately. And we had this whole vision. It's all up to him. And before I call him out, I just want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for coming through. What you guys have done to spare your time. But honestly, thank you guys so much. Alright, I got the emotional part out. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Isaac! Is that Diva?
A man of all seasons. Disclaimer. Warning. We're about to dive into my mind. But because I'm used to it, I fairly know how to swim. But for the rest of you, I suggest you get a safety jacket because it's about to go down. So when I was a kid, all I wanted to be was the best. And every single time it seemed as if I was about to become the best, something drastic would happen. Like, I don't know. It's like some force that was stopping me from becoming the best. So I decided I'm going to change my course and try to be a unique individual. Tonight I'm going to share my life in 4 seasons of life. Springtime, summer, autumn, and winter. Each season signifies a part of my life. So, let's do this. Springtime. Springtime refers to the season of rebirth, rejuvenation, renewal, resurrection, regrowth. Not like realize, but then if you get what I mean. See, I was coming from a place of brokenness. See, I was looking for answers, then writing came along. But see, when I met performance poetry or poetry performance or whatever you think that is, it changed. I fell in love with the microphone for obvious reasons because, yeah, microphone is cool, it makes my voice, my voice is nice, isn't it? It made me who I am, Isaac Yami. Boy meets art. A microphone.
A microphone is like a throne. For a minute, it feels like you're ruling a kingdom of thoughts, subjected to you at that particular moment. Whenever I see a microphone, not only do I see a stage, but I see an opportunity, not only to share, but to shine. Sometimes I feel like that's where burdens are lifted. Sometimes I'm just plain selfish, just wanting to speak. But yet again, I'm reminded of the revocations of speech, how there is freedom of speech, which is likely not to exist after the speech. Whenever I see a microphone, I get excited about reach. To reach out, to reach in people's hearts. Not only will I speak, but I'll be heard. See, I think a microphone is like my therapist. Always waiting for me to speak. Always listens, but never judges. But although I feel like me and my therapist, the microphone, we forgot to do one important thing, like sign a non-disclosure agreement. See, she allows us to share our sessions in front of people. But yet again, I'm reminded that her office is actually the stage.
Summer. Summer is the hottest season. Man, Cyprus is hot. But what I like about summer is it signifies freedom, self-acceptance, identity. Wait a minute. I'm so rude, am I? I haven't even introduced myself. I go by the name Isaac Yami and I am amazing. Plus, I am a spoken word artist. Question, quick one. When do kids start to care about other people's opinions? I like thinking a lot, by the way. So, this is my own reflection. So I decided to start wearing my confidence like it's the latest fashion and rejected to wear other people's insecurities.
The greatest mistake I ever made whilst growing up was always apologizing for who I am. Maybe I'm too this, maybe I'm too that. See, that made me compromise myself so that the people around me would feel comfortable. But I wasn't. See, I allowed their opinions to overshadow who I am. But face it, if you're intimidated by me, that's your own problem. They thought I couldn't make it. They thought they had all the keys and locks to life. But what they didn't know is, I am a friend to a locksmith. It's basically your life. So you decide to be affected or to be effective. When positivity seems kind of rare, when negativity seems like it's everywhere, you need to start embracing it. See, life is like a bag of mixed emotions. Life is about ups and downs. But when you start writing your name on things that matter, taking new leaps in the journey of life, leaving footprints that will forever be remembered, that is what matters. Because all you have is your own identity. And your own identity is like your own handwriting. Sometimes it's only you who understands it. And that's good enough. Forget about what everybody else thinks. You are your own definition. And it's true what they say. What a man thinketh, so is he. Hashtag love yourself.
Autumn. Autumn signifies adulthood, and I describe this season in two phases. Autumn. So the best way to describe autumn to me is love. How many of you have been in love before? Okay, let's digress a bit. phobia. A phobia is a clinical condition where someone is not so favored to be in a certain predicament or condition, so they try as much as hard to avoid that. People are allergic to so many things: spiders, snakes. But then, have you ever wondered what happens to those people who are allergic to something that's different, like love? What if love makes you sick, like really sick? They call those people philophobic. I am philophobic. You know when they ask if you're good in athletics when you're in PE class, I'm like, does running away from love as fast as I can count? Being philophobic.
Good conversations start with good questions. Man, I keep on bumping into you. Do you think it's a sign? See, I don't have strength to stay away from you any longer. I don't want to sound like a total creep, but I haven't gotten the perfect chance to say hi properly. Every man praises you. Sometimes you find stuff that you're not looking for. But the truth of the matter is, I hate the concept of needing someone to be happy. Someone to complete me like there's something wrong with me. Waiting for that day they want to get rid of me. One day I'm all they ever wanted. The next day I'm no longer good enough. Before you all accuse me of being insecure, this is far from it. Why am I supposed to feel? I, for one, I am a guy who doesn't like his emotions to be amplified. I want to be responsible for my own happiness. I want to be happy because I am happy. I want to be sad because I am sad. I don't want anybody determining my mood. See, happiness is not the person you date or in a relationship, but happiness is a personal thing. Amen. Hashtag, love yourself first and see what happens.
Okay, I have the fastest record when it comes to running away from love. Best believe Usain Bolt actually knows this. Like, I don't even need to try and say hi to that girl who looks like my type. That's how fast I am. But like any other race, I'm good, but this time it was different. Let's say when I vibe with a girl, before anything happens, I just hear a Donald Trump voice in my head that tells me I need to stop building a wall and we're gonna make the girl pay for it. Please don't ask me how I make girls pay for the wall. But seriously though, what does love look like? Have you ever met someone who's exactly like you? That flip is dangerous. Miss Mysterious.
It definitely looked like the death of a bachelor because there was so much evidence of it being a murder scene written all over it. I guess I'm not that of a cat because I am that cat that just survived his own curiosity. Or maybe I did die and resurrected. You know what they say about cats having 9 lives, they say. Miss Mysterious, getting to know you felt like it was a quest and an adventure. Dangerous yet exciting, this roller coaster, this vertical experience was interesting and fun. See, every single time I was with you, felt like I was walking in a minefield, not sure when the next boom was going to happen. I guess things come to an end, right? They say ignorance is bliss, but there was nothing bliss about me not knowing how I felt about you. See, to me, love is quite complicated. It's like walking in the shadow of the valley of death, and I fear a lot. And I couldn't stop contemplating if this could have been the end of me. To a point whereby I was so stuck up trying to stop the poet in me from serenading you because I didn't want you to fall in love with me. Because I wasn't sure if I could handle that. To a point whereby I was so cautious about what I would say, like the next line, next rhyme, trying to put myself in line first before I'm accused of being offside as I side with my dreams. I guess I just had to watch you go, although I knew I couldn't do anything about it. I guess with that mathematical equation that was never meant to be solved. But see, I guess I should just show a little bit of mannerism, like apologize. I want to apologize for not being Nick. At least your nick of time, as I failed to realize in the nick of time that, miss, you were actually into me.
So we all claim to love winter in summer and vice versa. Let me move to a bio anecdote. Let's go to class for a little bit. Hypothermia. It is a medical emergency that occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce heat, causing a dangerous low blood body temperature. In this case, losing your summer, you're losing your freedom. Winter signifies a holistic life. You realize people are cold at times. People are just so rough at times. Sometimes.
Sometimes I kind of mess up trying to push myself towards perfection that I forget how good I am. Sometimes I smile even though I'm going through a war in my life. Sometimes I'm misunderstood, but I know exactly who I am. Sometimes I have a conversation with myself because I understand how I feel. Sometimes I do identify that, and I don't mind it's the devil's workshop, but I see, I can't help but wonder in thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I actually forget that I'm actually a person that actually exists. Sometimes I feel like life is a competition. Sometimes I feel like I'm in some sort of league. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out if I'm a top flight team when I'm feeling invincible and everything is going right in my life. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out if I'm a middle table team when everything is just stagnant in my life. Sometimes I feel like I'm fighting relegation when nothing is going right in my life. Sometimes I feel like my game plan is too offensive, too aggressive, too assertive when it comes to grabbing opportunities in life. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm too defensive. Maybe I'm parking the bus of my emotions that I'm afraid to commit to life and live. Sometimes I don't have strategy. Sometimes I feel like I'm letting a lot of people down. Sometimes I feel like I'm not being sponsored enough. Sometimes this game of life I feel like I just don't want to play no more. Sometimes I get lost in my thoughts. Sometimes it just gets too crazy. I just want it to stop. Sometimes I doubt myself. Sometimes I doubt myself, even though I know I have all the capabilities of accomplishing it. See, Myron Williamson once said, our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves questions: who am I to be amazing? Who am I to be beautiful? Who am I to be awesome? But I'm only human after all. I make tons and tons and tons of mistakes. But what are mistakes? Mistakes are just decisions that went wrong. They do not define me. See, sometimes you need to figure out what went right in your life instead of what went wrong. Because that way, you learn how to appreciate your life. See, there are two challenges in life, and there are two ways of facing them. Either you face them head on, or you run away. And I choose the first option. So may the game begin, and let us continue to play.
Have you ever met people who seem like they're pundits? Not football ones, but life pundits. People who think they know life. But okay, for this one, let me just allow the poem to do its job.
Look at you saying something negative about someone's dreams and ambitions. How dare you? Someone has trusted you enough to tell you their deepest dreams and ambitions. But wait, Isaac Yami, what if they're unrealistic? See, that's where you get it wrong, because great things always seem impossible until they're done. Who knew we could fly one day? Imagine if the inventors of the airplane, the Wright brothers, listened to the negative stuff that surrounded them. The existence of the Guinness Book of World Records ridicules the whole entire concept of impossible. So is it you tell someone that they can't do something because you can't do it? Is it fair to use you as a measurement of capabilities in regards to other people's abilities? We're different. We're unique. Some people need more convincing to convince themselves that they can do something that they can already do. So your negative lines mixed with jealousy, not only are they annoying but irritating. What is it to you that you gain when you discourage someone? What is it to you that you lose when you encourage someone? See, it might be nothing, but picture this. What if someone actually makes it because you aided them, because you supported them? Be a reference to upliftment. See, doubt has killed so many dreams and failures ever done. So before you open your mouth, say something derogatory about someone's dreams and ambitions. Think again, because you might be killing the next Mark Zuckerberg, the next Bill Gates, the next Steve Jobs. Meaning that we wouldn't have Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft. That would have sucked. That sucks. But unfortunately, stuff has already happened. People have been bullied out there. I, for one, I am a victim. But see, I do not stand in front of you seeking for sympathy or pity. I'm here with good news to my other fellow countenances. Why don't we use these experiences as fuel to add passion and fire to our dreams? Never to stop thinking different because that is the right thing to do. But thinking like everyone else is wrong. But let us not prove them wrong. Let us prove ourselves right. I, for one, loves positive vibes hanging around me. But see, I do not seek validation or approval because I express, I do not impress. And to the bullies out there, mine in particular, man, piss off. So you think you're some sort of dictionary that you can walk about defining people? No. And to everyone else, if you have nothing positive to say to someone, the least thing you could do is shut the hell up.
Okay, I finished 4 seasons, but then the recent global warming changes have changed so many things. So, yeah, climate change. So because of global warming, it gets you reflecting. I realized all these seasons were just men, like men with an E, like all of them were men. And all of these people were just me. I learned that I need to embrace all of them, because from then I learned that life is all about appreciating seasons. So my very last piece taught me not to be worried, an ode to the worried, although I wrote it whilst I was worried.
After the darkest night, the sun still rises. Nothing lasts forever. The bad times and even the good times. Like the weather seasons, sometimes we have longer nights and shorter days. Longer days and shorter nights. But the truth of the matter is, time does fly. But when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're in trouble, when you're going through pain, it goes into slow motion. Or at least it feels that way. See, life is made up of time. And time defines what happens to us in a particular moment. Remember the game Truth and Dare. The future is a day. But see, sometimes we get too caught up thinking about the future that we forget to live in the present. It's quite easy to appreciate the struggle when it's past, when it's gone, but during the phase, during the journey, during the period, it's like a hard pill to swallow. It's quite art and genius, being able to recognize the bigger picture during the calamity. But see, sometimes things do not work out as planned in life. Robert Greene once said, life is inherently chaotic, that our tiny and tidy formulas sometimes do not work. But it's okay to be surprised with struggle, so that you'll be able to be surprised with the achievement that you would have achieved when you've pushed yourself and when life has pushed you. After all, the same boiling water that hardens an egg softens a potato. So the supreme irony of life is, sometimes it allows the worst to bring out the best in you. So you might be down on the count, but it doesn't mean you are out. Hashtag, my name is Isaac Yabe, and I'm a spoken word artist. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Good night.
God. Oh my God, guys, give it up for Isaac. That was amazing, right? The next poet. Wow. This poet, she is beautiful, elegant, given her radiance. If she wanted to the sun, she could bring shade. Her integrity is so high that she has every right to call class by its first name. She just told me that her boyfriend's in the audience, so I should stop now. Assisting her is an amazing guitarist, Naomi. When I think about Naomi, oh my God, she is just out of this world. Like, you too! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chelsea and Naomi.
Disclaimer. What you are about to witness handles very real events following the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda. If you're expecting a history lesson, this is not a story of our history, but one of growth. In the words of His Excellency Paul Kagame, we cannot turn the clock back, nor can we undo the harm caused. But we have the power to determine the future and to ensure that what happened never happens again.
Not really born, but I know what happened in 1994. As the first rain of April began to pour, hateful roars of the lovers of war, as the world sat back entertained. No one bothered to knock on our country's door. No, not even Thor. Pulse no more, battle scars, blood stains, April rains. Divisionism then more than ever as our nation tore. Blood drained from every vein of our fallen who we appreciate and adore. Our heroes' works were not in vain. Our people had never experienced the loss before. Memory forever embedded in our brains. Their legacy will live forevermore. A new era, a new reign. Our hearts heavy and sore. Hearts full of pain, no horror movie could replicate such gore. We broke off all our chains, No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Resilience now maintained, if not in unity and in love, then what for? We will always be chanting, never again.
What is said next will be short, sweet, and hits you with the facts. A lot like me in that sense. You'll never find a single stalk of bamboo growing alone. What grace lies in the growth of the bamboo tree? Ha! If only they knew.
Bamboo tree, if only they knew. Thou shalt not kill, for it is written in scripture. I warn you, for mine's dead, you'll get the clear picture. Cut open a once unified bamboo forest. For 100 days blood was spilled. Cries and screams of pain were heard from the far east to the far west. Men, women, children, all killed. Rape, fire, guns, machetes, spears, knives. And if you want numbers, that's 1,070,014 dead lives. They escaped death, but at what cost? Scar were those who survived to see another day when they thought there'd be another way. Bamboo, si seulement ils savaient. Bamboo tree, if only they knew. The scent of blood filled the air as we were left with nothing but despair. Mothers buried their children, children buried their fathers. The cleanup was real, kept the bloodstained garments in memory, wiped off our tears, disinfected our wounds. The soil that once held hateful propaganda was washed out with the old and with the new. Now replaced with fertile soil to which the roots of unity stood firmly in. Bamboo tends to flower regardless of the environmental conditions it's placed under. Bamboo, si seulement ils savaient. Bamboo tree, if only they knew. From the ashes we grew, we were determined to carry the legacy of those who had died. Although time was not on our side, the rebirth of the bamboo tree commenced. La renaissance de la vie, Bamboo, si seulement ils savaient. Bamboo tree, if only they knew. That you'd be the fastest growing plant in the world. The intentions to wipe you out had failed. For you would rise at alarming rates that question their mistakes. But they have slaughtered you still. Continuously growing and surpassing their levels. We're breaking our own world records. We remain winning. Now this is just the beginning. The fruits of our labor now prospering. Bamboo, si seulement ils savaient. Bamboo tree, if only they knew. A forest is held together by every individual tree forming a unit. Unos pro omnibus, omnes pro uno. What was once divisionism as propaganda is now togetherness as the mantra. However many times we are cut down, we shall sprout right back up. Bigger, better, stronger, greater. Rwanda, remember our name. You'll be hearing a lot more of us in the years to come. Bamboo, si seulement ils savaient.
You may have heard stories prior to this, but I am here with my truth. The truth that lies in the words of a poet who watched a nation grow from the ruins. The words that arise from the need to turn ashes into art.